Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review, another 20th anniversary review, another film from 1998. Now, in simpler terms, 20 years later, the film still sucks, and it's another pointless remake. And this is another example, like how in this remake is, like how other remakes, they do most of the stuff, like sometimes beat for beats on certain things, and of course you tweak it up and with doing a little, making slight different changes for different certain aspects in the film, but still technically a remake with the same name or reimagining with the same name. But here we are for a remake that's technically exactly shot for shot, not line for line, dialogue, I'm supposed to say, dialogue to dialogue, shot, edited, it's basically the same, and basically it's a prime example of a remake that's basically copy and pasted off the original. And that is a rant on the 20th anniversary, me ranting on the 1990 remake of Psycho. And it's just too bad because the cast, for the most part, was good for the most part, except for two leads, technically. But I'll get to that in a second. But Psycho, now, I like the first Psycho, the original Alfred Hitchcock Psycho. It's a classic. I just don't love it. It's the same thing like with Night of the Living Dead or The Exorcist. I don't love them, but I respect them because of what they as classics and what they affected in pop culture and all this stuff, right? Same thing with Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. I like Psycho. Anthony Perkins, great as Norman Bates. Great as Norman Bates, and I even like I even like the sequels too, 2, 3, and 4. But this, it's copy and paste basically. It's everything. Most of everything is just shot for shot, camera angle, or dialogue. Although there's certain parts of dialogue that's like changed like slightly though, but all that, it doesn't make a difference. And like how each scene, editing, basically is all copy and it's basically the same thing as the original. Now, directed by Gus Van Sant, who I have not watched too many of his films. If I were to go through what his filmography, what he's directed, I have not watched too many of his films. So, but I know a lot of his films like got a lot of like positive reviews and like Oscar-worthy nominations. So, but although I like Good Will Hunting, I do like that movie. Finding Forster, I think I remember liking the Finding Forster. I think I do, yeah. But I have to rewatch it again, so it was that long ago, so I have to remember it. But I think I remember not minding the Finding Forster. Milk with Sean Penn, I've not seen. Restless, Promised Land, Sea of Trees. I have not seen any of the other films other than Good Will Hunting and Finding Forster, but Good Will Hunting, especially I like with Robin Williams and Matt Damon, and written by Ben Affleck. But this film is, I would probably say this is like his worst. So his worst film. And even the music is the same, even though it's made by composed by Danny Elfman, though. But it's basically taken from Bernard Herrmann's score from the original. Same type of music, how the way the eerie music is. And the film didn't do well when it came out. It came out like I think it was like today, exactly today. It was be exact in early December for a film like this. And for some reason, the film cost $60 million for a shot-for-shot, exactly a shot-for-shot remake. Cost $60 million. domestically made like 21 million, worldwide like 37. So I don't see how the film like this cost 60 million if it's like for exactly shot for shot. I don't see how. But the film didn't do well. It bombed basically. It has a 4.6 on IMDb. It has a 38% Rotten Tomatoes. It was nominated for 3 Razzies for Worst Director, Worst Remake, and Worst Actress, Anne Heche. It won 2, winning the Worst Director and Worst Remake. Normally, sometimes I would agree with the Razzies, and sometimes I don't. For the most part, I don't. But Worst Remake, yeah, I can understand, because it was pointless. Even Roger Ebert, who gave like a 1 star, called it shot-for-shot remake, was pointless. And even Gus Van Sant, he said this was like an experiment. So he wanted to see like how it is for a shot-for-shot remake. So he said it was like an experimental film. Well, if it was an experiment, if you tried to do that and see how it was, he certainly did that. But look what happened. Critically, financially, waste of basically, yeah, for an experiment, it was a waste of $60 million. But yeah, so yeah, then. And it's the name of the cast. Okay, for our 2 leads. Okay, you got, Norman Bates, played by Vince Vaughn. Now I like Vince Vaughn in some of it. I like some of his films. I do, but he was horribly miscast as Norman Bates. I'm sorry, he just did not fit the part as Norman Bates. I mean. Just when you first see him, right? It's like, okay, like the little slight tweaks they made a little slight change. Like every time he says something, he does like a slight giggle. He's like whatever or something. It's like, eh. Yeah, he does like a slight giggle every time. Okay, that's a slight a slight. It doesn't matter because when 99% of the dialogue is there, it's basically irrelevant. A slight little change giggles like a little every sentence. Doesn't matter. But Vince Vaughn, he's horribly miscast as Norman Bates. Of course, he's no Anthony Perkins. Anne Heche as Marion Crane, I would say another miscast as well. I just think that she just did not see as what Janet Leigh played as in the original Psycho. I don't think she was not that good as Marion Crane either. I like her in certain films as well, but not in this film. Not as Marion Crane. It didn't feel like these especially for Norman Bates and Marion Crane didn't feel like how it was in the original, of course. And the other supporting cast members, waste of a good cast because they all did fine. The supporting cast did fine. You got Julianne Moore, who plays the sister of Anne Heche, Marion Crane. She plays the sister of her. Viggo Mortensen, William H. Macy. Even got Philip Baker Hall. Robert Forster makes an appearance. Even Rance Howard as well. I think Rance Howard, he's the father of director Ron Howard, I believe. He has a little appearances though. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, Robert Forster, William H. Macy, Viggo Mortensen, Julianne Moore, Philip Baker Hall. The rest of so good supporting cast though, but they're wasted in this film. And they all do fine too. It's just the same. They're wasted. Okay, so what it is basically it's the same. It's the same plot as, like I said, shot for shot. So we all know how it is. The same thing, same plot as the original. Marion Crane, Anne Heche, she takes some money. Okay, another slight difference. In the original, it's $40,000, but here it's $400,000. Whoop-de-doo. You just add 1 0 to that. So that makes all the difference? No. Yeah, $40,000 to $400,000. Whoop-de-doo. She takes that amount of money. She drives to the base motel for a night, like the tagline. Check in, relax, take a shower. And I say, introduced to Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates. Like I say, each sentence he does a little giggle. And he then gets to check into the room. Marion Crane hears the mother's voice. Then they have the conversation in the office, but they're talking about the stuffed animal, the stuffed birds. And it's like, you know, a boy's best friend is his mother. And it's basically, it's just exactly line for dialogue and dialogue. And then, okay, or you get slightly different thing, which didn't need to put in anyway. Where right here, basically, when he's looking through the peephole, you can hear it though, but you can tell he's jerking off, you know, and looking through the peephole, you can hear and tell he's doing. Yeah, you didn't need to see Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates, a classic character in horror or thriller genre. I need to hear this character jerking off in front while watching through the peephole. Yeah, that's another difference they added in, but that was pointless and didn't need to see that anyway. And then the same thing, and then you get the classic shower scene, which it was nothing. It was like same exact music, same shot for shot, and same thing with, you know, her reaching, doing this, and grabbing the shower curtain, falling down. Shot for shot editing, same editing, camera angles, and the music too. And he cleans up. You know, it's basically, I'm explaining. If I reviewed the original Psycho, it's exactly the same I'm explaining, because it's exactly shot for shot, motion, whatever. So, but the thing is though, that's a classic and had more impact back then. Then then fast forward to sometime, like I said, it was like a week later. Julianne Moore goes to see Viggo Mortensen, because Viggo Mortensen plays the boyfriend to Marion Crane, and Julianne Moore plays the sister of Marion Crane. Oh, except that this time Julianne Moore, she's wearing the old headphones, the old Walkman, because it's 30 years. It's set in the 90s, because the 60s, the 90s, so difference. So yeah, make it a little more modern. That's another slight difference, where she's wearing headphones, the old headphones, a Walkman. So that's another slight difference there. And then William H. Macy comes in as the private investigator, Arbogast. Even got the exact shot, like where it shows basically almost like basically a close up of William H. Macy's face, like how the private investigator was in the original. But I would think it wasn't this close to his face. But it was like a little slightly back though, but still it's still focusing on him still. So yeah, he talks about he talks to the two of them. He goes searching. He goes back to see the base motel. Gets info, and sees that they see somebody in the window at the house. He goes back, takes a phone call. He goes back there. He goes to the house. Maybe when I feel on this film, burp it out. Of course, when they say the same shot angles, right? But when he gets attacked by the mother, and when you see another slight difference, where you see, as he's being attacked, you get to like these two quick shots, like one of a sheep in the middle of a road, and then a quick shot of like a blind woman, basically naked, looking like this, as he's being attacked by the mother. Why we add those little quick random scenes in there when he's being attacked by the mother? Like the first cut, for like the first stab, right? Or there's a sheep in the middle of the road. The next thing is a woman wearing a blindfold, basically naked, almost like why was it in there? I have no idea. So yeah, kills the private investigator. Then Viggo Mortensen, Julianne Moore, they go out there, you know, find answers. Okay, and probably another slight difference where while Julianne Moore is at the house, and while Viggo Mortensen's like talking to distract Vince Vaughn, made a slight difference where in the original there was like the two had a little bit of a struggle when the boyfriend got knocked out. Only here, Norman Bates just takes a golf club and hits him and knocks him out. There's another slight difference, but it's basically all the same. Who's got to pay attention, right? It's like 99.9% of different. Like I said, the 0.01 difference is in there, but it's basically all the same. Then she goes down the fruit cellar, finds the dead woman, the dead mother skeletonized. See him dressed up in the woman's mother outfit. Only except another difference is that in the original, Norman Bates dressed as the mother, saying, I am Nora Bates. And, well, here he doesn't say any of that. And then there's the struggle, and Julianne Moore kicks him in the face. Only that was not like that in the original, though. But like I said, all these slight differences, yeah, you see little slight differences, though, but it's basically still shot for shot, and dialogue. And another difference at the end, where the psychiatrist, his speech in the original was much more longer, because he said, is he transgender, or whatever. Here, though, it's shortened. They don't mention the transgender part, though, but still. So and then the psychiatrist played by Robert Forster, and the sheriff played by Philip Baker Hall is there. But Robert Forster, I like as an actor. I think he does a pretty decent job when he's given the given the explanation. I like Robert Forster as an actor. I think he does a decent job when he's explaining the whole story. So he explains about Norman Bates, how he murdered his mother and her lover, and da-da-da, you know. I mean, I'm explaining exactly how it was in the original, so if everyone's seen the original probably by now, or even this, you know the whole story. How he created like an image of another personality of his mother in his mind, he'll have it take over, so... And now probably has all taken over by now. And you see him in like the exact camera angle shot where he's a wide shot like him in the cell, and it slowly zooms in on him with the mother talking, and then the exact shot where he does like this and smiles, and ends with the same shot of the car being dragged out of the swamp. So yeah, this is basically just it's a much shorter review because there's not much to talk about. It's basically an exact duplicate of the original. I mean, remakes do some changes. Like, well, Hills of Eyes remake. That's a film that's kind of like a lot of the same beats though. But first of all, that's one of the better remakes, and especially has a likable lead who's been through, like Aaron Stanford, who's been through so much. He's so determined to get his baby girl back. You know, he kicks some ass as well, taking out those mutants, you could say. And the director, Alexander Hades, I would say is a more capable director than Gus Van Sant in this aspect. But I'm sure, but I know that the director knew what he was doing while doing a remake of the film. That's what I'm trying to get at. He knew what he was doing. And or you want to be different, do still crap like Rob Zombie's Halloween. That did a whole lot of different things, but that was shit as well, basically. Yeah, you can do either shot for shot like this and be crap, or do something different and be like Rob Zombie's Halloween and it's still crap. Or do like a good remake that's basically like the same beast though, like Hills of Eyes remake. But yeah, shot for shot, whether it's exactly the same or the different, it's all subjective. If you like this remake of Psycho, more power to you. I'm not gonna diss you for that though. But if anyone who likes the remake or think it's so bad it's good, that's fine though. But 20 years later, the film still sucks, and just... I mean, like Vince Vaughn, he's horribly miscast as Norman Bates. So is Anne Heche. She didn't do that well, sadly, though. But the supporting cast was good, though, and sadly they're wasted. Julianne Moore does good. Viggo Mortensen, William H. Macy, Robert Forster is a little bit at the end. Philip Baker Hall. Anything, even there was another guy, when Viggo Mortensen was at the store when Julianne Moore comes in, and even the exact same line where he tells a coworker, who's like, run out and get some lunch. Oh, that's okay, I brought my lunch with me. Run out and eat it then. That guy, I think that's the guy, that was the guy, right. Yeah, Flea, that's the guy who works at the store with Viggo Mortensen. Who said run out and eat it. Yeah, Flea. If you remember Flea, I think he's mostly well known. He's mostly well known at voicing Darwin in the Wild Thornberry. Wait, no, that wasn't Darwin. It was the crazy boy, the Wild Thornberries show. Now I forget because I totally messed up. I think it was Darwin with the ape. I think it was. Yeah. Where was it? Otherwise, I gotta look it up now because otherwise I'm just gonna mess it up and someone's gonna tell me. Say, oh, he did voice that character's name. Donnie. That's what it was. Donnie. Yeah, not Darwin. It was Donnie. Yeah. Yeah. So Donnie and the Wild Thornberries. Yeah, Flea had a little cameo appearance in that as well, in this film. Yeah, Donnie. Yeah, but yeah, it's just Psycho. The film still sucks, so yeah, it bombed, and so Gus Van Sant did an experimental film. It bombed critically, financially, waste of money, shot for shot, exact duplicate, except for the slight differences that I mentioned, didn't help the film at all. Like Norm Bates jerking off, or like those slight changes, like when William H. Macy was being attacked, those quick shots, random shots, or what was it? Or Vince Vaughn hitting Viggo Mortensen with a golf club, or whatever, and like all this differences I mentioned doesn't help in the slightest bit. It's still 99.9% of exact dialogue, exact shot for shot, scene for scene, camera angle to camera angle, editing. Danny Elfman, he probably had the easiest job in the world in his career making this music because it basically took all of Bernard Herrmann's music from the original. So Danny Elfman had a very easy job making this. So I don't know more I can say about it. 20th anniversary of the remake of Psycho. The film still sucks. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, if you like this film, that's fine. But I don't see how this film it didn't get a cult following over the years. So probably because in the low ratings it got, people still think the film still sucks. Probably so. Yeah. But yeah. Gus Van Sant, I like Good Will Hunting, but I haven't seen the rest of his films. But I would probably say, if I haven't seen the rest of his films though, but I'll still say this probably still his worst film. But that's my 20th anniversary rant on the 1990 remake of Psycho. I'll also say shit. Plain and simple. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.